Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Swanee, and welcome to X-Plane 10. This is my first X-Plane video. I just got this game not too long ago, once I got my new computer in, and I'm pretty excited to get going. I've done a couple test flights here and there, but this is going to be my first video, so if there's any mistakes, just bear with me, but I'm going to do my best to keep it as good as possible and as realistic as possible. Today we're going to be flying from LAX over to SFO, which is San Francisco. We'll be in the flight factor 767. This is the first aircraft I have picked up for this game so far. The reason for that is just because I think it's the most complete aircraft that they have out there. So I just wanted to learn on the best and then be able to, if there's mistakes on other aircrafts, I could be able to understand how to fix those mistakes. But anyway, this should be the best and easiest aircraft for us to fly. That will get us there. And without further ado, let's get started. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to pop up to the overhead panel here. And we're going to go ahead and flip the battery on. You hear that come up. We'll switch the standby power to auto. And then we'll just kind of start turning everything on. This plane's more of a lights out kind of plane. You want to get all these lights out. That's kind of the point of it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let me see here. I think we'll go ahead and pull up this little iPad thing, make sure all of our ground stuff is here so we can use the ground power and whatnot. We need a field check so we can get fuel on board. We'll put some chocks up. And then we'll go ahead and open the front door so we can get passengers in. All right, so let's keep going with the overhead panel. This whole panel is good. We'll move over to the left side now, turn on the yaw dampers. We'll move all these over to nav so we can go ahead and get our IRS aligned. And before we keep doing anything else, we'll go down to actually, hold on a sec. We need to go to ground power. There we go. Now we're good. Now we can come down here. We'll go into the FMC. I'll go ahead and clear that. That's okay. Go to position in it. We are at LAX, so go KLAX. Throw that there. Grab that position and pop it right there. And so now that will allow the the IRS to tell it where we are specifically, given our GPS coordinates. So that's going to start aligning. It will take probably 5 or 6 minutes to do that. In the meantime, we'll keep going up to the overhead panel. We'll keep going through our flows. So we'll just go ahead and put all the hydraulic pumps on, move all these over to auto. We'll arm the emergency lights and close that. Fuel pumps, we'll go ahead and turn those on now. What else do we need? We'll turn on a position light and our logo light. Turn on all of our window heats. We'll throw our cabin signs on, the no smoking and the seatbelts. We'll put those all both on auto. Our altitude control, we're going to go put that on auto today. Our landing altitude is 50 feet. Or it's actually like 13 or 14 feet, but this only goes in 50s. So we'll go ahead and set it at 50, just like that. And we'll go ahead and switch these over to auto. These are all the temperatures controls. Switch all those on. Go ahead and turn on our packs. So everyone can start getting some air. You should be able to start hearing that now. Go ahead and turn on all the isolation valves. And we'll leave the APU stuff off for now just because we're not ready for that yet. All right. Overhead panel's all done. IRS is still going. Let's go ahead and get all of our people and fuel and stuff figured out. So we'll go over to the ground area. Now to calculate all the passengers and the weights and the fuel, I use SimBrief. There's a lot of people that have been using that, and it seems like it's a pretty good system. So if you can just go in there and you tell it what you want to do, where you want to fly, what aircraft you're using, and it'll kind of calculate a route and weights and all that stuff for you. So that's what I'm using. Let's see here. It's telling me that today we will have 73 passengers. So I type in 73. I have a feeling it's going to be a light plane, to be honest. That's okay. Let's see here. Our fuel is going to be 18,700 pounds. Let's call it 18. Let's just go 18,800 just to be safe, just in case something happens. And that should be plenty of fuel to get us, you know, down to or up to San Francisco, and then possibly even over to our alternate of Sacramento, just in case something were to go wrong. Let's see, what else do we need? We need our zero fuel weight for this flight will be. Sorry, it's just a huge document. I got to scroll through and find all the numbers. Our zero fuel weight for this flight is going to be 212,000. So we'll go ahead and take some of this cargo off to try to get that as close as possible. Actually, you know what? Let's just leave it. I don't want to be that light. We'll keep some weight in here, and that's okay. We'll go ahead and optimize the center of gravity, and we'll go ahead and load the plane up. All right, I think that's good for right now. We're just going to wait on the IRS to finish aligning, and once that is done, I will pop back into the cockpit and start configuring the FMS. So I'll see you guys in a sec. All right, so the IRS just finished aligning, so we are ready to start programming the FMS. Let's go ahead and pop down there and let's get this baby set up. So KLAX to KS, where's FFO? Oops, that's an L. Oops. KSFO. Throw that there. Go ahead and activate that and hit exec. All right, now we can go to our departure and arrival page, and we'll go ahead and punch in departure out of LAX. We're gonna be going out on the, just pull up the route here for a sec, the fix it to departure. So we'll go ahead and click that. Oops, we gotta hit a runway first. 25 right is the runway we're taking off on today. 25 right. Fix it to departure. And the RZS transition. Go ahead and exec that. All right, we'll go ahead over to the route page. The route page. Actually, no, the route page, and go to the next page. So you see it left stuff on RZS right there. Now we're going to go direct to Stoked. STOKD. Oh, damn it. All right, hold on. Delete that. Clear. Okay. STOKD. Put that there. After Stoked, we're going to go direct to Surfer. SERFR. Come on. SERFR. Perfect. Just like that. And then we'll go ahead and hit exec. And then we're going to be ready for our arrival. All right, so we are going to be coming in on the Surfer, I believe that's called the Surfer 2 arrival. Yep, Surfer 2 arrival. And we'll be coming in on 28 left, the ILS, like so. And I believe there's no transition on that one, so that's okay. We're gonna leave it like that. Hit exec. So now we'll go over to our route page, our legs page, and we'll just kind of go down through everything and make sure there's no discrepancies. like that right there. So we'll just take that, pop that there. Looks like that. Okay, and you can see right here, I mean, these speeds at that altitude, that's not really that realistic. We'll go ahead and I'll fix that a little bit later on, just so we can get our plane slowed down as we come into San Francisco. Other than that, I think that's all good. We'll go ahead and go over to the init page. Go ahead and hit that button. It puts in our reverse weight. Our reserves on this flight are 3.5. Oops, we don't want that. 3.5 there. And our cruise altitude today is going to be, they're saying 40, or flight level 400, which is 40,000 feet. And I think that's a little bit high for this short of a flight. So we'll just go to 35,000. And I think our cost index is going to be 25. Let me just double check that. Yep, 25. Okay, I'll stop doing that. Like so. All right, now we'll go to our takeoff. We're going to go flaps 5 on this departure. We're going to derate to 45. We should be able to type in our center of gravity. Trim is going to be 2.1. We'll go ahead and set that in a sec. We'll go ahead and select these on, and we'll punch in our V speeds. Like I said, we have a really, we have a really light plane today, so that's why these V speeds are so low. But other than that, we're all set up and ready to go on the FMS. Let's go ahead and pop back over here. We will go ahead and set our trim, and that was 2.1. Something like that. That works. Alrighty. And we will go ahead and get our glare shield all set up. We're just going to throw the altitude all the way up to 35,000 feet since we don't really have any ATC going on today. So there's no restrictions. We'll just go straight up. Our V2 is 134, so we're going to do that plus 10. So we're going to go to 144 on that. And we'll go ahead and go runway heading right there. And last thing we need to do is set the altimeter, which I forgot. It is 29905. So we'll go down here, go 29905, hit that button to make it go on the other side. And I think we are pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU, get that going. Where is it? There. Do we hear a click? On the APU gen, the bleed. Let's try that again. We'll just come over here and make sure it's going. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to rise. It's starting to boot up. So we'll let that warm up, and once that becomes available, we will switch over to that. I think it's okay. So moment of truth, we'll go ahead and take off our external power, and hopefully everything will stay. Which it did, so we did that right. All right, let's go ahead and get the airplane all closed up, and we'll get all this stuff out of here. Call for the pushback truck. Now let's go ahead and throw our beacon on as well. Lets people know that we're going to start moving. We will come down here and, oops, Sorry about that. We'll come down here and release the parking brake. Gate's gonna come back now. And as soon as that's all clear, we will start pushing back. All right, here we go. All right, that's good enough right there. Let's go ahead and put the parking brake back on. We'll come down here and tell him to get out of here. What that was is with this pushback in this particular plane, you have to use the throttle to push yourself back. It's not automatic, so that was just me forgetting to pull the throttles back before I did that. Anyway, yeah, I think we're ready to start up some engines. Let's go ahead and pop up here and we'll turn off the packs. Make sure we get enough pressure, which we do right there. And now what we will do is go ahead and switch this one over to ground and start up engine number 2. This is the number we're looking for right here. We're looking for this to get around 18 to 20, and then we'll go ahead and throw the fuel in. Like so. Alrighty, that looks like one good engine. Let's go ahead and pop back up here and start engine number 1. Again, looking for about 18 to 20 on the N2 rotation. Right about there, throw the fuel. Now you see it fire up. Alrighty, we got 2 good engines. Let's go back over here and turn the packs back on. And we'll go ahead and cancel that. That's saying that these guys right here, something's up with them. I'm not really sure what's going on with those. We're just gonna leave them be. I don't think it's really gonna make that big of a difference. Let's go ahead and get our flaps out. We're going flaps 5, 2 notches. We will go hard and arm the speed brakes and go auto brakes RTO. And we will also come up top and turn on our nose lights and our turn-offs, and we'll be ready to taxi. Alrighty, so we're coming up on 2.5 right. Again, there's no ATC, so we're clear for takeoff. We'll go ahead and throw all of our lights on, get ourselves ready to go. Get ourselves slowed down here a little bit. Go ahead and arm. We need the flight director, and we need the auto throttle armed. And we'll just go ahead and do a roll and start as soon as we get lined up over here. It's just about right. Alrighty, everything looks good to me. Everything looks green. Everything's all set. Let's go ahead and spool these up to about 40%. Let them stabilize. and we will go ahead and hit that, and we will be ready to go. There's V1 and rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Go ahead and start bringing some of the flaps up. And we will go ahead and do our VNav and our LNav, and we'll go ahead and engage the autopilot. Let it take over. Nice little view of us coming out of LA. You can see the city over here, down on towards that ridge line over there. Pretty nice day. There's not too much weather. It's pretty clear. Makes it for a nice, easy flight. Anyway, all right, that does it for our takeoff. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead and use some cutscenes and some time lapses to kind of move this flight along, and I'll catch up with you guys as we get ready to make our descent into San Francisco. Alright guys, we're coming up on our transition altitude, heading, like I said, down on our ascent to San Francisco. So we'll go ahead and get the rest of the plane set up for an arrival. We'll go ahead and start by setting the altimeter. It is in San Francisco, we're looking at 3003. Go ahead and set it for that as well. We'll go ahead and pop down. We'll go ahead and set up our stuff for the ILS. So we'll go ahead and go like this. And we're going to go 109.55. Like so. Course is 284. Alright, that's good. Let's go down here to the FMC. And we'll go down to our, where is it? Init page for our approach. We will go ahead and land, let's see, where's our flap gauge at? There it is. I think we could probably get away with, we'll go with flaps 25, punch that in there. So that's all set up and ready to go. Looks like our V speed, our VREF speed is going to be 127. So that's the speed we're looking for on our final approach. Just past the waves transition, we're really going to start getting down here now. You can kind of see the Bay Area up here off our nose. It's the beginning of the bay right there. It's San Jose right at the tip of it, and then we'll kind of fly over and get ourselves set up on the on the approach for 2-8 left. So like I said, guys, I'm pretty new to X-Plane. I used to play FSX a couple years ago, and my computer just wasn't able to handle any flight sim games pretty much up for the last couple years. So when I got this new computer, I wanted to get it back into flight simming, but I've been kind of following more into the steps of X-Plane now, just because FSX is kind of an older game, and I just kind of wanted something that was constantly getting updated, and so I think X-Plane might be that game. So far so good. I actually really enjoy it, but like I said, I am still new to it, and I'm looking for like add-ons and whatnot that I should be getting. This is the only plane I own so far, so I am looking to pick up another plane at some point. So if you guys have any suggestions on what plane I should pick up, leave it down in the comments section, and I'll be sure to go check that out. The sceneries, as far as sceneries go, I think for now I'm going to stick with mostly freeware sceneries, just because there's a lot of really good ones out there. Like, for instance, both airports that we use today are freeware sceneries from Mr. X6, who does some really good work. You can find a lot of freeware sceneries with his, and along with many others, over at xplane.org. For those of you guys that are looking for it, I'll go ahead and link both these airports in the description, as well as the aircraft. But I'm looking for more stuff, just to keep everything fresh. I don't want to keep flying to the same airports all the time. I don't want to keep using the same plane every time. So if you guys have any suggestions on what are some good routes to fly, what are good planes to fly, what are some good airports to fly into, yeah, like I said, just let me know, and I'll kind of check them out. And if it's something I like, I might make a video for it. So I also might be getting into streaming. I know in this video we kind of cut around through the middle of the flights and whatnot, which is fine, because most people don't really want to sit through an hour or two worth of just looking out a window. But I do think that I'll look into streaming a little bit more for those people that do want to see the full flight, and that way we can kind of get together and talk about X-Plane and flight simming, and just kind of hang out as a community and while we're watching the video itself. So if that's something you guys are interested in, leave a thumbs up, and if I get enough likes, I'll start looking into streaming. I need to get ortho scenery, photoreal scenery for this game. I did have it on when I had FSX. Obviously that was years ago, so it wasn't as good as it is nowadays. But oh, hold on, so we got an FMC message. Got some drag we need, so we'll go out and pull up the speed brakes about half. That's the one thing I noticed about this plane is it does have a hard time slowing itself down sometimes. It does require a lot of the speed brakes, which is kind of why I was telling you I was going to go set up all the stuff in the FMC, so we didn't have to really worry about that too much. Anyway, what I was talking about was, okay, so yeah, so photoreal scenery, I'm looking at that. I think there's a couple programs out there that will let me get that set up for this game. I do know that X-Plane 11 is coming out, so I'm not sure how much I really want to do to X-Plane 10, knowing that the new game's coming out. Although you never know with new games like that, it could take a while for it to kind of get to the level that this game's at right now. So we might be still flying X-Plane 10 for a while. So we're kind of just waiting to see what happens with that. And I imagine that most of the add-ons that they have for X-Plane 10 and plugins and stuff like that should work for X-Plane 11. I think really the only difference in that game is dynamic reflections and there's a couple airport additions and a couple plane add-ons. It's not like a whole brand new game. A lot of it's still based on the same stuff, so I imagine that most of the stuff will end up working for that game. But I am excited for it. I think it comes out sometime in November, which is this month. I'm not sure if it's going to be mid or late. They haven't really released a date yet, but I have been following up on all those videos that they've been releasing on all the features and new aircrafts and whatnot. So it looks like it's going to be a really good game. I'm really excited to check it out as soon as it comes out. I will be downloading it. I was able to use the deal that they had where you purchase X-Plane 10 and that gets you a copy of X-Plane 11 when it's released. So that kind of worked out. Had good timing. Happened to be right when I was getting my computer. So I will have X-Plane 11 once that comes out, and I will be bringing some videos of that as well. Other than that, we're just getting ourselves down here. We're about 7,000 feet. I have a bunch of waypoints plugged in here. Let's go down there and hit legs and take a look at what we got. So Eddie, we need to be at 240 at 6,000. I might actually change that. No, we're already there. I'm not gonna change it. All right, so we need to be at 220, 4,700 above at swells, 200, 4,000 at Menlo, 180, 3,100 or above. And that's the drag required again. Let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully we won't have to use it too much, because I know once we start throwing some flaps in, you can't use speed brakes after a certain amount of flaps, otherwise it damages the plane. We're just coming over to the bay here though. If we look out the right window, this is all San Jose right in here. I think the airfield's out to our right. Moffett Field's right here below us. I like the scenery though. I mean, the game's got a lot of scenery. I pretty much have everything turned up as much as I can, and I'm still running pretty good frames. I think I get like 60 to 65 frames per second with what I'm using right now. Who knows if that will drop if I start throwing in some photoreal and whatnot. I also don't have like SkyMax or anything yet. That's not something I picked up, so we need some more drag. But it is on my list. I have a list of things to get, and at some point, I'm kind of waiting for the holiday season. There might be some sales and stuff like that, so maybe I'll be able to pick some stuff up at that point. Come on. I have not practiced landing too much on this plane. I think I've only flown this plane 2 or 3 times total so far. So I might just go ahead and let it auto land itself for the sake of the video to make sure I don't crash or screw something up. Hope that's okay with you guys. I know sometimes people like to see auto landing, so if you're one of those people, then you'll get to see how that works. Let's zoom in a little bit on this. We will be catching the glides, the localizer at Herman, so we'll get ready for that. And let's start bringing out some flaps. Keep getting ourselves slowed down here. I believe after flaps 5 is when we can't use the speed brake anymore, so we'll stick at flaps 5 for just a little bit while we get ourselves slowed down. Other than that though, the VNAV and stuff like that on this plane work pretty well, as far as keeping everything on track and getting ourselves down and whatnot. It works out pretty well. I haven't really had any issues with it so far, so that's a plus, definitely. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna wait for this bar right here to start moving towards us a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and hit the localizer button. We'll go ahead and hit it now. All right, so that picked that up. All right, so we've established a localizer now, so now we're turning onto it to get it lined up with 2.8 left. And then in a second, as we get a little bit closer and we see our vertical marker start to fall towards the center, we'll go ahead and arm the approach, and that should get us all set up for auto land. And I believe I said our V speed was what? Oh, it's 127. All right, let's just get that set down to 127 then. There. Keep bringing some more flaps in. And we're going to be landing flaps 25, so we got 2 more notches to go. Go ahead and bring another one in. And after that hits 20, we'll go ahead and drop the gear. Like so. It looks like we got a pretty good path right now to the runway. Pretty well established. We have one more set of flaps to go. And we have 3 greens, so we'll go ahead and drop our last flaps. Alright, so we're fully configured now. Again, guys, I'm not a a pilot or anything. I do this for fun. I don't know if I do everything correct or not, but it seems to work for me. So I don't worry too much. But if you guys know if I'm doing something wrong and you can have a suggestion or whatnot, just let me know. I'll try to work on it, and I always like to learn more and improve. So if you guys see anything that I did wrong or whatnot, just let me know. Ooh, one thing I didn't do is turn on all the lights. Speaking of, good thing I caught that. I do know we need to arm this. Go auto brakes to 3. We'll go ahead and arm the speed brakes. And now we're ready to go. Again, this scenery is this scenery is actually really good if you look at it. I mean, it's got photo row around the airport. It's got a pretty good representation of SFO and the surrounding area. Got all the all the buildings behind it and whatnot. And if you actually fly over to the actual city in the skyline, they have all the bridges and all the landmarks and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good, it's a really good scenery actually. So if you guys don't have it, make sure to check it out. Again, I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out. All right, looks like we are getting pretty close here. About 500 feet to go. Again, we're letting this thing auto land itself. $200. $100. $40. $30. $20. $10. Go reversers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. We lost something. Get ourselves slowed down. It looks like we hit reversers, but at the same time, they kind of kicked us out of it. That's all right. We ended up making it work. Go ahead and disengage everything. We'll turn off here. Well, like I said, guys, I'm still learning. So that, you know what, we made it. We didn't run off the runway or anything, but it wasn't perfect. That's all right though. Taxi over here, and we'll go ahead and clean the plane up a little bit. Backtrack over to the American gates. All right. And we'll go ahead and turn off our landing lights. Keep all the taxi lights on, that's okay. So not bad. I mean, it wasn't the greatest landing. We got, definitely, for some reason, the plane messed up. I threw the reversers on as we landed. It didn't like something, and it kicked the throttles back up to the max throttles. But I was able to figure that out real quick and kind of save it from running off the end of the runway. So, alrighty, it looks like we're right at the gates now. We'll go ahead and park in that empty gate right there. We'll go ahead and turn off the taxi lights so we don't blind anybody. I do need to start the APU. Oops, that might have, hold on. We'll stay here for a second. I might have messed that up. Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, hold on. There we go. Let that warm up. There's our marshal. And good. Alrighty. Gonna pull the parking brake. Make sure the APU is good, which it is, and we can go ahead and kill the engines. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it. I did have a good time flying. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, leave a thumbs up. It lets me know that you guys like the videos and you want to see more of them. If there's anything I can do better, any suggestions for routes like and whatnot, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you guys want to check out the channel and see what other games I got and videos I got going on the channel, go ahead and check that out. And don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to see more X-Plane videos. It'll give you a notification when some new videos are up. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, and take care.